President Cyril Ramaphosa says the warring factions in South Sudan need to take practical steps in committing to the country's ceasefire pact. Ramaphosa made these remarks in his opening statements at a peace and security meeting being held by the African Union.
On the 30th of June 2015, where he adopted his terms of reference for the committee. The terms of reference themselves provide a strong mandate to the C5, as this committee has come to be known, to actively engage in the peace process in support of the IGAD process. Since establishment, C5 has been largely dormant, and this has largely been due to the fact that IGAD member states have themselves been properly seized with this matter. It was, however, felt that considering the process of the progress that seemed at the time to be slow, this summit of the C5 will have to have an opportunity to deliberate on the crucial issues, including how to support more effectively the IGAD efforts, and together define the ideal cooperation mechanism to achieve this objective based on the mandate that was given to this ad hoc committee. This meeting is therefore of great importance given the persistent challenges in South Sudan, challenges that require our concerted efforts. These challenges range from the continued war in South Sudan to the divergent views within the international community on how to address this crisis. The region and the continent have a responsibility to ensure a well-coordinated approach to resolving the crisis in Sudan, South Sudan. We should use this opportunity to assess the progress made and the challenges we have experienced since this ad hoc committee was established. We should commend and thank IGAD for a job well done under very, very trying and difficult circumstances. IGAD acted in unison soon after the conflict erupted by dispatching a peacemaking delegation to Juba in December 2013. It subsequently established a mediation mechanism which eventually produced the agreement on the resolution of the conflict in South Sudan in 2015. On 27th of June 2018, the IGAD process once again did something really commendable. Through this agreement, the parties have committed to a permanent ceasefire and have invited our member states to support its supervision. These are really, truly commendable efforts, and we look forward to working with the parties to implement the agreement that they arrived at in Khartoum. We also should underscore that the parties should fully commit to this ceasefire themselves. We recognize and encourage regional economic community initiatives to resolve neighborhood conflicts, since they themselves better understand the regional conflict dynamics. We believe that our committee should support such initiatives given the extent of war and its implications to continental peace and security. The establishment of this committee is therefore a continental recognition that IGAD can do with the AU's support. Furthermore, the AU's support should not be limited to mediation efforts only, since peacemaking is a long and demanding process. It is necessary that the continent remains available to provide the required assistance on an ongoing basis during the mediation process, during the peacemaking and peace-building process as well. But more importantly, we should also remain supportive during the post-conflict reconstruction and stabilization process. We are aware that punitive measures against the South Sudanese parties for violating the peace agreements are being contemplated by a number of other institutions outside of the continent. It is my view that the continent, through our committee, should be involved in discussions of this nature. Together with IGAD, our committee cannot avoid discussions over the use of a combination of reward and punishment to ensure that we save innocent civilians in South Sudan. Should we fail to act in a concerted manner, the international community will eventually be tempted to take unilateral decisions on the situation in South Sudan. Once such decisions are taken, we shall have no control over their management as well as over their implementation. While we should not bow to international pressure ourselves, we should also not be viewed as complicit to the unfolding violations of the peace process. This will only lead to our people to seek recourse elsewhere if we ourselves do not take action. The unfolding humanitarian situation in South Sudan is simply quite distressing. The situation of internally displaced people and the many, many thousands of refugees in neighboring states do require our continent's and our committee's action. In this regard, while calling for international support to address the plight of the people, we should lead by example and commit ourselves to assist. We note that the Khartoum Declaration of Agreement of June 2018 also addresses the issue of the economy of South Sudan. We should welcome the plans to cease hostilities. We should also welcome their plans to commence oil production with the assistance of Sudan, as this will positively impact on the economy of South Sudan. We should ourselves also consider visiting the region and engaging the warring factions and the IGAD countries to discuss ways we could better support them in the ongoing peace effort. I hope that our committee will consider ways of adopting improved working methods and further strengthen relations with IGAD and the UN in order to end the conflict in South Sudan. The international community should also speak with one voice on the issue of South Sudan, and our committee should champion that voice.